SoftServedGentleman, Dean Alejandro here. I'm going to try this again because I don't have a mount and I live in somewhere that's not straight and I am going through the mountains. I really wanted to talk about something that has been on my mind and I really couldn't wait until I got home to post about this. I also wish I could turn this around and kind of show you like a dash cam because the fall colors are super nice. Content warning, this is super vibrating. I am so sorry if you are watching this, but I kind of wanted to talk about something important. Like I said, if this is too bumpy for you to watch, I probably won't be able to watch this. Remember that all my videos do have captions, and you're more than welcome to not watch this video, but just listen to it, because this is something that I feel like is important, that doesn't really have visibility, and I really wanted to talk about my experience with it and kind of really talk about it and see if anyone else has had a similar experience, or really just bring this conversation out in the open. Okay, so a while ago I used to drink a lot. When I was growing up, before I came out as trans, I was binge drinking. I was kind of doing whatever I can to like get away from myself and basically deal with the internalized transphobia, internalized issues that I had before I came out as being trans. So I drank a lot, and that became like a crutch for me. I liked the person that I became when I was drunk, and let's not say that I liked it. I just learned to like love that person, and not even love it, but accept it, and it kind of accept like who I was, and learn to deal with those mental things then, and kind of go through there and develop a persona like for when I got fucked up, and I learned to love that person more than me, right? This is actually a pretty common thing. A lot of people with mental illnesses, a lot of people, you know, who are trans or non-binary or trying to figure out their gender identity, they experience a lot of this, a lot of self-sabotaging, a lot of, you know, us just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. So that's completely natural and completely valid. However, where I'm trying to segue into this is that I've noticed different parts of my life before they get better, like anyone probably, they get really, really worse. I'm usually in like an extreme depression. I'm usually in a really bad point in my life. And then it kind of puts me into the situation of I'm in control. I can make the decision. Why am I choosing to live like this? But it's easier to say that than actually do that, because fighting your mental health and that fucking constant bullshit like voice in your mind is so defeating. So basically when I decided to go back on medication, and it really was a game changer for me and for my drinking habits, because before starting my medication, I had the urge to drink, right? Kind of like developing any habit and creating that habit and feeding it. So like if something bad happened at work, if something bad happened during the day, anything like remotely different happened that I didn't plan for, mind you, this is when I am not in a good mental state. This is before I was medicated. This is when I was, easily irritated, easily agitated, and, I would go back and forth with the mood swings, back and forth, not really understanding, but kind of dealing with it, because that's what I had dealt with for 30 years, right? So, for the first time in my life, I started taking medication, and I did not have any desire to drink. I had no desire at all. I'm going to have to hold the camera in a second because I'm going up a super high incline. But I had no desire to drink at all. And it was so, strange to me, because for the past couple weeks, months, I had been doing that every single day. And that was my first coping mechanism with life. Okay, well, I'm going to drink. Well, I'm going to get fucked up. Well, I'm going to deal with this the only way that I knew how to, because I was comfortable with that, and it was really my only outlet. I've talked about this a couple times in the past, where our trauma is kind of running our lives in order to, stop the trauma and to stop the bad habits that we have that we've unintentionally created, we need to make a conscious decision every single day to make the harder decision and create the new habits. And it is not fucking easy. If anyone has quit smoking, like cigarettes, or quit anything, you need to make that conscious decision every single day for, okay, I need to break this habit. I think they say it takes 28 days to create a new habit. So it's literally 28 days making a difficult decision. Okay, we're going to create this. And you need to consciously be aware of that. And you also need to mentally prepare for that. Like, it's not easy to do. You can sometimes say, okay, well, I'm going to do this. And then, mentally you have a bad day and you're not able to. And that's completely normal, especially if you're not medicated. So as I have noticed that I don't have the urge to drink, I have drank twice since starting my medication, because the first time I was curious. I was like, okay, the first couple of weeks I was kind of like, okay, well, I feel great. There's no reason for me to drink. There's really no reason. Why would I spend money on a toxin that's going to be hurting myself? Why do I want to be drunk? I feel good. I don't want to risk that. I don't want to feel that way, which is interesting because a medicated mind is completely opposite than what I was dealing with before. And I didn't want to. But then socially, it makes it so difficult, because if you go anywhere, there's always a happy hour. If you're with friends, they're always drinking socially. Sometimes it's hard to find people that don't drink socially. Almost every single song on the radio talks about drinking and getting fucked up and, doing all that stuff. And, sorry, bikers. And, it's just hard to deal with when you don't want to, or people that are just sober and don't want to drink. You're completely valid. Even like college events or work events, there always is a way to get drunk, and there's like the stigma with people not drinking that I've talked about before. Anyway, so the 2 times that I have drank while taking medication were very interesting. The first time I drank, I didn't get drunk. Like, I had like a tiny buzz and kind of mentally felt that like, ooh, like, yay, like I'm drunk. Then, because I started taking my medicine like twice a day, but then what happened was the day after, instead of being like hungover, I was like mentally fucked up from my not having my medication. Like, it basically, the next day I woke up, I didn't wake up early, so I didn't take my medication in the morning, which already put me in a bad mindset. And then I was basically fighting everything to not take my medication, because I went back to that mindset of, fuck it, I'm stronger than that, I shouldn't have to depend on medication, right? Which is like this loop. And then I noticed that the whole day, when I finally took my medication, it didn't do what it normally did. So I was basically like not hungover, but suffering by not having my mood stabilized, which is pretty terrible. So I was like, okay, that sucks. Like, I don't want to drink again if that's what's going to happen. There's no point in me taking medication if it's going to make me feel like worse, right? And then as weeks pass, you stop thinking about the bad things. You only think about the good times and reminiscing on that. And I've had coworkers that have offered me like a drink, and socially, and I feel like bad and like not like I'm bonding with them because I'm not drinking, which is a terrible thing, which goes back to my social and the stigma with not drinking, but whatever. And so I was like, okay, well, fuck it. Like, my wife and I, we went to a happy hour. I wanted to drink. I never, like, when I would drink, like, I would buy cheap shit. Like, we've never really gone out and, like, splurged on expensive drinks, because that's just not where our values are. We'll go out and eat every once in a while, but we save our money by not eating out. So I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna go. Anything that sounds good and fancy and bougie, like, I'm just gonna try it and see, because I deserve this. I deserve to treat myself right. So I got the drinks. I had 2 drinks. was pretty, like, buzzing, like, feeling okay. But, like, I noticed then when I was drunk, and it kind of happened before too, I was in this old state of mentality. It instantly brought up, like, my quirks and, like, my personality of how I used to accept myself when I was drunk. Certain habits, certain issues, certain topics, certain agitations. It's like I didn't miss a step. Like, I picked up from, like, a decade ago when I was binge drinking, and I got into it. And then I got into that mental state of, I should drink more. Why should I stop? This is the only time I'm doing this. And I instantly got into that self-sabotage mindset. And a lot of it, too, has brought back a lot of dysphoria, a lot of gender dysphoria. Just like I knew when my hormones were kind of fucked up, it was the same type of situation, which is pretty weird how your body, like, kind of tells you these things. So then, I basically, after drinking, and the same shit happened, you know? I woke up the next day, and I felt like my medication was just not working. Why am I on this medication? Why am I taking it? So it basically felt like it defeated the purpose of me doing it, and then I felt exactly how I felt prior to taking my medication. So I know this video is kind of redundant, like, based off how I'm explaining it, but I kind of wanted to talk about my experience, and if anyone is taking Lamictal or the generic brand of it, please let me know if it has decreased your urge with drinking, and how that's affected you, because I'm really curious to see. I've seen a lot of people in support groups that have also talked about this and how they don't have the desire to drink anymore, and I think that's super cool. And it's also super difficult when we are battling that stigma, like I said, but I really want to start opening these conversations and let people know that they're not alone. Again, you can just listen to this, or there are captions available too. If you have any questions based off this, or kind of want to ask me more, like, personal things based off of it, please let me know. I am an open book. I just thought it was really interesting, especially for people that have self-sabotaging personalities with excessive drinking, how it completely shifts. With that said, please check out your mental health. I hope everyone has a great day and enjoy this.